I'm Jackson Summers, and it is my distinct honor to welcome all of you here today for the promotion of my dad, Technical Sergeant Daniel J. Summers, to the rank of Master Sergeant. I am especially pleased to welcome Sergeant Summers' wife, Michelle, and sons, Jordan and Jameson. I would also like to welcome the Air Force Vice Chief of Safety and Executive Director of the Air Force Safety Center, Mr. Jim Rubior. I also extend a warm welcome to his friends and co-workers who have come out to join us today. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to rise and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during our national anthem, tradition dictates that military members should stand at attention, while civilians should place their right hands over their hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing as we join the national anthem.
Please join me in prayer. Lord, we thank you for meeting each of us here today. We thank you for America and all those who give their lives to keep our country free. We thank you for my dad's promotion, and I pray that you will bless him and bless the airman who he will leave in the future that he puts on this new rank. Please bless our time here today. Amen.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Today we gather to promote Technical Sergeant Summers to the rank of Master Sergeant. Our presiding officer for today's ceremony is retired Major Kenneth A. McDonald. Major McDonald is a CV-22 instructor pilot for the 71st Special Operations Squadron, 58th Special Operations Wing, Kirtland Air Force Base, New Mexico. He instructs CV-22 pilots and flight engineers in academics and flight simulation. Major McDonald received his commission through the Reserve Officer Training Corps in 1990 at the University of Oklahoma. He flew peacetime rescue missions within the United States in the UH-1N Huey and MH-53M Pavlo, and managed theater-level rescue missions at the Air Operations Center during the Bosnia and Kosovo conflicts. Major McDonald flew Special Operations Infiltration and Exfiltration missions across Iraq and the Middle East. He flew humanitarian relief missions in Africa and evacuated the American Embassy in Lebanon. His experience in flight instruction is evident in his 3 assignments to the formal schoolhouse and post-retirement employment as Special Operations Flight Instructor for the 58th Special Operations Wing here at Kirtland. Major McDonald, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I spent my time in the safety office at the 58th SAL, and walking in here I had to notice, some extension cords that were too long, heater under a desk, that I don't understand that in the summertime, and that Superman cape is far too long. In a trip or something. So I met Daniel probably 6 years ago when I came back to Albuquerque for my 3rd tour, and really got to know him and his family. And Jackson was one of my kids in the youth group, and I ended up with Jordan a little bit, and my wife has had Jameson a little bit too, so that's how I know them, and I'm just, again, pleased to get to know them, and very honored that he asked me to say a few words and preside, I guess, over his promotion ceremony. So you guys in the Safety Center know him pretty well. I got to look into his records a little bit, and I never really realized all the databases and all the computer programming and stuff that the Air Force uses. You know, I was kind of familiar with CAMs, and I knew about, you know, one of the A-forms, and as a flight safety officer, I dealt with AFSAS. And I figured, you know, whatever, somebody makes that stuff in the outside world and programs all that stuff. Well, that guy is one of the guys who programs all that stuff. He worked on CAMS, the Core Automated Maintenance System, which does all the aircraft parts, ordering, the supplies. It even does training of personnel. You know, when you get that, you blue suit guys, when you get that email from the training office that says you need to go get your gas mask training and stuff, that all comes through CAMS. Daniel worked on that at one of his previous assignments. He also, I guess, worked on the upgrade to that called IMDS. He said he was particularly proud of his team that he worked with and the guys that put that together, because I guess after many years and many millions of dollars, it was still a piece of junk. And then he and his team put it together and got it into execution within 18 months. It's pretty impressive. He's heading the testing team and working on AFSAS. For those of you who are not in the safety office, which is basically the visitors. That is let me find it in my notes here, the Air Force, see, I brain dumped it when I got out of the safety. Air Force Safety Automated System. What that does is for anytime there's an accident that meets specific criterion of money, or if somebody gets killed, or something blows up, the Air Force wants to track all that data, figure out how it happened, and then prevent accidents. That's the whole goal of the Safety Center here. So at some point in time, somebody came up with a brilliant idea to put this all in one computer database so people have access to it. Well, Daniel and his team work on that interface, so the Joe Blow knucklehead safety pilot down at the 58 SAO or any other place around the world can access that data and, you know, brief his squadron or her squadron of crews on what all happened and how to prevent accidents. So that's really cool. Yeah, there we go. So that's Daniel's job in a very brief nutshell. Just a little about him. You know, computer programmer. I got nothing. I don't know. I'm lucky I can drag the mouse and click most of the time. Daniel went and learned Unix on his own. He learned how to do networking. He learned XML. Java, learned how to use Java. And it's all culminated in a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science with a 3.85 grade point average. So that's very impressive. So that's self-improvement. Service before self. See, I remember all that Air Force stuff. Service before self. Daniel takes care of his people. He is a team leader for the base readiness support team. I guess they had some kind of exercise or staff assistants visit, and everybody was working late, and nobody could get food, and Daniel went and got food for everybody out of his own money because he knew his people were hungry, needed help. He mentors junior staff members, guiding as a good senior NCO should, as evidenced by his selection for Master Sergeant. Community service. He's a mentor to youth in the community. He volunteers up to 5 hours a week at the church, dealing with 75 mid-schoolers. And when I do that, I get like 6 or 7, and he has the whole bunch down there. He was a Cub Scout leader. All the members of his pack are in the Arrow of Light. So, I mean, that's good leadership and training and mentoring of the youth. Above all, Daniel loves the Lord. He loves his family. And he loves the Air Force. And it's my distinct pleasure to preside over this ceremony and swear him in as a Master Sergeant in the United States Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Technical Sergeant Summers joins Major McDonald on the stage, who will administer the oath of enlistment.
Raise your hand. I state your name.
I, Daniel J. Summers,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
according to regulations
according to regulations
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, you got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Michelle, Jordan, and Jameson, will you please come forward and tack the blue stripes on your husband?
Now, there are witnesses right here, okay? Tell them good too.
So you better hit him hard.
Step back.
Hit him hard.
Sure they don't fall off. Make sure they don't fall off.
All right.
Hey back, kid.
All right. 1, 2,
Push through.
3.
Yeah!
Thank you, Major McDonald and family.
Good job, guys.
To commemorate this occasion, Senior Master Sergeant Matthew M. Shilton, President of the Team Kirtland Top 3, will now come forward for the Senior NCO charge.
In the United States Air Force, a Master Sergeant joins an elite group. The term sergeant is an ancient honorable one that denotes a person possessing special skills, integrity. You are now a Master Sergeant, which means you have mastered the techniques and abilities required of non-commissioned officers. As you progress to Senior Master Sergeant, hopefully Chief Master Sergeant, your title will change, but not the designation as a Senior NCO. You are afforded privileges not awarded to others, and you freely accepted this responsibility beyond the call of normal duty. You have, by your actions and performance, earned the respect of your seniors and juniors. As a Master Sergeant, your way of life will change. More is expected of you. More will be demanded of you. Not because you're a Master Sergeant, but because you're now a Senior NCO. You've not merely been promoted a pay grade, you've joined an exclusive group dedicated to taking care of those who follow in their footsteps. As a member of this elite group, you have a responsibility to your fellow Senior NCOs, even as they have a responsibility to you. Congratulations on your accomplishments, Sergeant Summers.
Thank you, Senior Master Sergeant Shilton. Ladies and gentlemen, Master Sergeant Summers.
I appreciate you guys coming out today. Standing room only. Wow. You know, if we booked this in the auditorium, 15 of you would have showed up. I know how this place works. I figured out how to do this, yeah. Jackson, thank you for narrating today.
Thank you for choosing me.
I got this for you. And Jameson, did you guys know this young guy that did the invocation? He's really shy. You might have to bring something out. But for you, sir. Obviously, I need to educate my children on military tradition. Okay. And we haven't seen my middle son, Jordan, yet, but I think he's going to do a good job, so I'm going to go ahead and give this to him. Well, let's see. Who else in my family?
Oh, yeah. I'll take cash. You don't have to.
You do anyway, right?
And thank you, sweetheart. She has a less visible role, but you all appreciate her role when this is over and you get to dig into those tables back there. Major McDonald, thank you for coming out and speaking.
You're very welcome.
Sergeant Children, thank you for the charge. I hope you live up to that charge. And thanks to each of you. I mean, we've got, so much stuff we do here. I've been here 6.5 years, and I'm still not sure that I know a whole lot about some places of this building. But, our goal is safer Air Force. We've got awesome combat capability, but if we break our own stuff before we get to use it, it doesn't do us any good. We kill our own people, who's going to run this awesome stuff? So, I really do enjoy being part of the mission here at the Safety Center and helping to preserve each of us. Who knows, I might be in a situation where what I did here actually helped save my own life. You never know. So I'm not going to talk a real long time. It's hot in here with everybody standing up packed in here. But thank you all for coming. We do have the snacks afterwards. I believe Jackson's got a few more words to say. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for attending today's ceremony. After the ceremony, please take this opportunity to congratulate Master Sergeant Summers by forming a line to his left. Also, remain for refreshments.
Please rise and join me as we sing the Air Force song.
Mom, it's not getting here.
Off we go, raise a wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Here they come, soon to meet our thunder. Howdy boys, give her the gun, give her the gun! Down we dive, shooting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live, favor down, flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
We're supposed to go this way? To the left? We're going this way. Good. Going counterclockwise, this way. To the left.
I can't tell my right from my left. Congratulations. I don't know my left from my
Yes.
Come on, Chris.
You got a block. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
God bless you. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about this.
Into the boat. I can open your life.
You know what?
Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
You the man.
Thank you, Superman. Congratulations, you made it. Yes, sir. All right. I was wondering if it was somebody's going to hit me.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't want to suck it in.
Sir, thanks.